So what made us decide to live full-time in a motorhome? Well, let me tell you a story. Five years ago, we're taking a trip to Southern Ireland, and we've just dropped the two girls off, our two huskies, off at the kennels, which they weren't happy. And well, then I lived in the south of England and was sitting on the M25 driving around it, and Anne says to me, "Oh, wouldn't that be good if we got one of those? Because, and we can take the dogs to places, you know, when we go away, take them with us." Now, at the time, I happened to see, as she said this, a VW camper van, but she had spotted a motorhome apparently. So this is sorted out later on. Pretty much no much more was said about it other than this brief comment. However, because I'm driving and I've got a long drive ahead of me, it was about a 12-hour drive, and there's nothing else I can do but when I'm driving is to think. So I didn't really consciously think about what she said, but there was something going on, you know, in the back of my mind, in my little subconscious. It was beavering away, and by the time we got to the hotel in Southern Ireland, this thing had grown rather big enough that it no longer fitted in my tiny subconscious brain, and was now a conscious thought and still growing. So I started, you know, I was itching to get on the net to have a look at what options there were, prices, stuff like that. Well, we had a great time in Southern Ireland, and just about every place we went to, we kept saying, "Oh, the girls would really like it here," especially when we went up in some of the mountains. They would have loved it, you know, absolutely gorgeous. So anyway, we had our little break and enjoyed exploring some, you know, some of the island, and we headed back, another 12-hour journey. But now I'm really thinking about it, and I'm considering every possibility, and I'm going, do we have just the one vehicle or two vehicles? You know, can we afford two vehicles? The running costs, blah 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 blah. So anyway, as soon as we get back, I'm on the internet and I'm starting to do some research, and looking at all the options and exploring forums, see what people are saying, you know, just get some information together. Well, I came across this term called full-timers, and I thought, what's that then? I quickly discovered it's basically people who have given up their house. You know, they no longer live in a house, but they live full-time in the motorhome, and they travel wherever they travel. Now, it's worth pointing out at this point, I'm very lucky in that I can work wherever I like. As long as I have an internet connection, I can work. So there was nothing really tying me to a house. So this was kind of sort of interesting. So I started looking a bit further into it, and a lot of people saying how much cheaper it is to live that way rather than in a house. So I'm thinking, maybe not. Okay, so anyway, I ran some figures, and it started going, well, yeah, it looks like it could be quite a bit cheaper. Or maybe, but I mean, worst case scenario, what if it worked out the same? I mean, which it wouldn't, it would be cheaper, but let's just say it was cost the same. It would be a much better lifestyle, because we would be able to travel, see places. I could carry on working, carry on bringing the money in, so we kind of had the best of both worlds. So anyway, I'm starting to think there's a lot of positives. There's got to be some negatives to doing this. So I started trying to find negatives and giving it a lot of thought, and I'm really struggling to find a reason that it was a bad idea as opposed to it was just a really good idea. So I thought, oh no, let's ask around, let's ask our friends, see what they think. They really were not much help, because they all said, yeah, what a great idea, you guys should do that, you go ahead and do that. I'm thinking, oh, you're not helping. I need some reasons not to do it, not reasons to do it. Kind of wanted a bit of a balance, you know, just sort of, there's got to be a catch. There has to be a catch to this. I mean, seriously. So we're taking another trip to Wales this time, North Wales, with a couple of friends, and I kind of spot a motorhome dealership just round from the place that we're staying. So I thought, great, what I'll do, we'll go round there, we'll go and have a look at some of these motorhomes. I think when Anne sees just how small they are inside, she's going to change her mind. So we went round there, and we found there wasn't hardly anyone about. It seemed to be deserted, but we did find a Kentucky that was open. So we went inside, and I thought, here we go, this is where it all changed. We won't be doing this now. Oh no, she loved it. She thought it was brilliant. I thought, great, fantastic. So that was another reason not to do it that had been destroyed. And I think it was kind of at this point that I realised things were happening beyond my control. Some sort of fate, cosmos, you know, whatever, magic thingies, because I was doing this whether I liked it or not. Now the first problem that I had was the outlay, was buying a motorhome. Well, out of the blue, when we got back from this Welsh trip, I had a phone call from the bank. Long story short, they basically offered me enough money to buy a motorhome with just really stupidly low interest rate. Next plan is, do we really want to do this? Double check. Right, let's hire a van in January and go for a couple of weeks holiday. In the winter, in the British winter, you know, the worst it could possibly be, and see if that can put us off. So that was the plan, and we're going to do that. A few days later, I'm passing a big dealership of motorhomes, and I sort of pop in. I'm going to just have a look, you know, just have a little look, and ask a few questions of the nice salesman that was there, Graham, never forget his name. Anyway, we had a look round at a few vans. I gave him some things that I wanted, and you know, I definitely have to have this and definitely have to have that and all that sort of stuff. So I showed him a few things, talked to him about a few things, and he said, well, let's go and have a look round. Anyway, we looked at a couple of three motorhomes, and for one reason or another they weren't, you know, it wasn't quite right. Didn't have this or didn't have that or whatever. And then he took me around the back and we looked at another one, and pretty much it ticked all the boxes. So I got Anne on video chat, and I kind of showed around the van. I don't know what I was thinking. I then pointed the phone at the nice salesman, Graham, and they had a conversation. Very bizarre. Anyway, so at the end of it, I said, well, you know, do you like it? Do you like what you say? You know, yeah, it seems all right. Said, well, okay, so we'll come down and you can have a look. I don't need to have a look, she says. I've seen it now. I've only seen it through the phone, you know, through video chat. I'm going, oh, all right. Anyway, next thing I know, and it kind of, I don't know, things drifted a bit in my head. It must have done. I don't know what happened, but I'm driving out of the place, having paid a deposit and arranging to take delivery in 3 weeks' time. What happened to my idea of trying it out and seeing if it works? And this is, you know, we're going to take delivery near the beginning of December, you know, in the winter, and I've done nothing. Things are conspiring against me. They really had. So yeah, 3 weeks later, I'm outside doing the first night in my van while camping outside my house. Now, reason, there's a good reason that I'm actually having to sleep in it. I managed to get full-timers insurance, but the rules of the full-time insurance was that I had to sleep in it. I couldn't leave it unattended at all. So, but I was kind of quite happy to do that. And do you know what? That first night, best night's sleep I've had in years. Absolutely brilliant. Loved it. Now that was kind of that's kind of how it started. But that's the really short, quick version. I have written a book which covers all of that in a lot more detail, and our first 2 years of motorhoming and all the trials, tribulations we had, the disasters, what went wrong. Apparently it's, according to Anne, it's absolutely hilarious reading. Yeah, I suppose it is. But anyway, I'll down below I'll stick the link into the book, which is available on Amazon on your Kindle. If you have Kindle Unlimited or whatever it is, you can read it for free, and it's also available as a paperback. So yeah, please, if you want to know more, buy my book. Otherwise, lots more videos like this coming, lots of hints, tips, stuff like that. So click that subscribe button, and please leave me leave a comment below. Let me know who you are. Say hello. Just say hi. You know, it'd be nice to know who's watching my videos and whether you liked it. And if you did like it, you know, it's down there, the little thummy thing. Click it. And also, yeah, if you subscribe, click the bell icon, and you will get notifications when I upload a new video, which is at least once a week, usually on a Sunday. Sometimes I do other ones in between, but no guarantees.